Hey, what is going on, NFL fans? Another pop-up special, man. Y'all know how we do it. We pop it up, shout it.
Okay.
We love to do pop-up shows because when we see anything that's online and I feel like it makes for a good conversation, we'll come in and talk about it right quick. We'll give y'all a quick 30 to 45 minutes. Because we know y'all got to get back to y'all day, and it's on Monday, and what they call Monday, overreaction Monday. And this
Yeah.
is a topic that could be a little bit of an overreaction, but hey, we can make a conversation out of it because there's always some link from the past to the present to the future. And one thing about it, man, if you um have seen things in your life that's kind of familiar, and they always say history finds a way to repeat itself. And sometimes when history repeat itself, you just least expect it. So
Mm, mm.
y'all know what to do, man. Y'all drop that, hit that subscribe button, hit the
So,
notification bell for Smitty Sports Machine and A1 Forever, man. We still trying to grow this thing. But before we get started, the um the super chat is back open, man. So if y'all want to donate, I don't care if it's $2, I don't care if it's 50 cents. Um, please donate if you want to, man. I've been having people asking me when I'm going to be able to start back taking donations, but it's back open. So if y'all want to donate, please do that.
right.
If y'all feel like it, if y'all feel like doing it, but you don't have to, because I'm gonna give you the facts, the stats, and the truth, like my boy man might say anyway. Because that's what I do, man. But before we get going, I'm gonna announce the chat, but I'm gonna let A1
Good.
introduce himself like he always does.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm saying thank y'all for popping in today. I'm saying again, like you said, we pop up shouting when it comes to these videos. Today we got an interesting topic about Michael Penix. Also got a little Trey Hendrickson talk. And also, saying a little schedule release, man, something big for the Atlanta Falcons. So we're gonna get into it, man. I can't wait. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. But y'all know what to do, man. The chat, my big bro
Chat.
John Higgins, man. He gave me the name Smooth Smitty, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Yes,
But he
sir.
said, "What it do, man? What's up, big bro, man? Glad you always tuning in, helping your boy. I got to call you, man, because I ain't talked to you in a minute. You know, I got to check up on you. My
Mm-hmm.
boy Larry always checking in. What it do? My boy
Do.
Robert Blackman checking in. He says, "Good afternoon." My
Yes,
boy
sir.
Tevin Phillips, man, what's good? Vontae Neal, what's good, my brother? My
What's
boy
good?
Marquez Stafford, my former high school classmate. Yeah, I try to
Woo!
speak the truth, man. Try to speak the truth.
Sure. Try
'Cause
we
that's
can
what
get.
I do, man. But before we get going, man, we did a live the other night, man, and I forgot to one of my followers, man, Mr. Isaac Crimes, lost his grandmother, man, and I told him I was going to give him a shout out. So for my
Those.
boy Isaac Crimes and family, man, y'all please keep them in your prayers. He lost his grandmother, like I said, man, and we're gonna keep prayers up for him because as a family, we stick together as Falcon fans. No matter if we have turmoil or whatever, at the end of the day, we're gonna find a way to stick together because as a family, that's what we need to do. So y'all, please send prayers up to Isaac Crimes and family on the passing of his grandmother. And this show for you, my boy. Thank you for always supporting the Sports Machine. He's been supporting me for a long time, so I had to give him a shout out, man. And I know what it's like to lose a grandparent because I lost my granddad about 3 years ago. So trust me, Ike, I know how it feels, man. You only get two sets of grandparents, and I have
Right.
only have one grandmother left. So I make sure she's straight all the time, and I always call her to make sure she's straight, man.
Yeah. Shout
Anything
out
she
to
needs,
everyone
she
who
can get
still
it.
has parents. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who still has their grandparents, and again, my condolences
Facts,
to the family. Sir.
facts. Philip, what's up, my dude? Jay, what's good? My boy Craig checking in, man. Craig on Twitter, man. Just followed me not too long ago, man. Craig, I appreciate that, my guy. But let's get into this
Do.
conversation right quick, man. I got this first conversation, man, from Twitter, and y'all know Twitter have debates that won't end.
Mm-hmm.
And the debate was, could Michael Penix be an MVP candidate, a dark horse MVP candidate? And that's an excellent question because we talk about the sophomore slumps, and they could happen. But on the other side of that, what if he picked this offense up just enough to go into the offseason to put his foot on the gas and build up the confidence and say, I got it. And
Interesting.
look, y'all can't say this crazy a crazy topic because at the end of the day, the MVP award is wide open. Everybody starting from the bottom level.
Right.
When it's 0-0 games, when there's no games played, so everybody has a chance at the MVP. And the reason why I think they said it is because they're looking at what he has on offense, and I'm
possibly
gonna
what
put it
defense could be.
right. So, right quick before I start, because I know I'm gonna rant and I'm gonna go in a little bit. You tell me. What you think. Is this an overreaction or is it a stretch or is it a slight truth in there? Tell me what you think.
Don't get me wrong. Of course, some potential of Michael Penix, something that we've seen in the sample size. It could be limitless, like it could be. But honestly, man, I gotta say like the older folks be telling me, young blood, hold what you got. So you gotta hold what you got. And I'm like, he still got to get out there and play on the field. It's it's a long season. It's a lot of guys that's been doing it longer than him. Now he does have weapons, but at the end of the day, it's going to be ups and downs. I just feel like so that's not far fetched, but I think it's kind of crazy to already just be to say that he'll be a dark horse for the MVP. It's a lot of great quarterbacks in this league, like seriously. And then we know that politics play a part of that as well. I said it. So that would be lovely. I ain't gonna lie to you because that means not only are we in the playoffs, so we making some noise, all that good stuff like that. I believe he has the talent, what I'm saying? He's a legit talent. And I think the offense that he has, you can kind of like put it up, into the roster that we had before, back in the Super Bowl year. But I just got to pump my brakes.
Speaking of that, let's look at that roster right quick and see how that roster looked back in 2016. Let's just do that right quick. Is it okay with y'all in the chat if I do that right quick, man?
Let's
bring
pull
up
it up.
that let's
pull it up,
man, because I think they need to see. I mean, they know the roster because they Falcon fans, so they know. But this is the roster from 2016. Matt Ryan wins MVP that year. These are the numbers that he has. He throws for 4,944 yards, 56 yards short of 5,000, 38 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. You look at Devontae Freeman was the starting running back. Tevin Coleman was also on the team. They had a good dynamic duo in that tandem. Patrick DeMarco was the fullback, and that's a forgotten science in today's game. I feel like if the Falcons have a legit fullback, I think that opens Bijan up for endless possibilities because I've always believed that a fullback is key to breaking big runs because you remember Lorenzo Neal in San Diego helped LaDainian Tomlinson damn near run for 2,000 yards and had 30-some total touchdowns in one season. I can see that with Bijan because he has that same skill set. He has the speed. He has the quickness. You talk about a guy, one cut and home run type guy. But let's keep it going. Julio Jones, Pro Bowl that year. Mohamed Sanu, great number 2 guy. If y'all wondering, this is a totally different offense. This is a Shanahan offense. And he only used 2 starting receivers. Just think about that. Levine Tololo was the tight end, and he was 6'7", about 260, and Kyle Pitts is about 6'6", 255, 260. So that's kind of a similarity there. He had 13 catches that year, only 2 touchdowns, but he won the mainstay. They think about it. They used a lot of their utility guys to make plays as well. Guys like Taylor Gabriel, guys like who else? Tevin Coleman, as I talked about earlier. Taylor Gabriel. Yeah.
Man.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, man. Tevin Coleman, honestly, him and Freeman just meshed so well together, and you can honestly say, like in the playoffs, Tevin Coleman, man, he just showed up big game after game after game for us, like
right.
So, Just
Yeah.
man,
And if y'all
child.
looking at the roster right now, y'all can see we have some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. And you talk about Aldrick Robinson, who was a special teams stud. I think he made the Pro Bowl that year as a special teamer. Um, I mean, the Falcons just had so many weapons that year they could dial up anything they wanted to on offense. It seemed like it worked.
Right.
So if you look at the roster, man, I mean, the Falcons have just as much talent on that roster. And when you talk about a guy like Taylor Gabriel, we call him Turbo in Atlanta. He was on the 5'7", 168. When you look at Ray McLeod, he had that same type talent. So this is why I can understand why I feel like people are kind of saying that he could be a dark horse, because if you look at Matt Ryan's MVP season in 2016 and the weapons, Michael Penix has the same thing. You talk about Kyle Shanahan's offense. Sean McVay and Zach Robinson's offense is a modified version of that. So if you look at it from that standpoint, I get why they're saying the Falcons quarterback could be a dark horse. Now we're gonna look at the 2025 roster of the Falcons, and this is what they have on offense. They have Darnell Mooney, Drake London. Not saying he's Julio, but he would be the Julio of this team because of his size. Then Ray McLeod, he would be the Taylor Gabriel, the guy, quick screens and all that. And the special teams got type guy, because remember, Taylor Gabriel was a special teams guy, also a return man. So Ray McLeod fits that bill. Then you look at Kadera Hodge, who has.
About to say he's Aldrick Robinson.
Right,
Kadera
exactly.
Hodge is Aldrick Robinson. Okay.
Right. And the link to that team is still on this team, and that's Jake Matthews, who was the starting left tackle for that team. So he would be the anchor of this line along with Chris Lindstrom. And Alex Mack was on that team too. No, we don't have an Alex Mack at center. Yeah, we don't even have a center side to the roster. But I think that's going to come sooner or later. But look, it's so many similarities to that team till I can say that I could actually see. We talked about tight end position. They had Levine Tololo, who I said was 6'7". I saw him in person. This dude is a tree. Then you have Kyle Pitts, Charlie Warner, and we talked about a blocking fullback. We have one of the better blocking tight ends in the league in Charlie Warner. So it's like you still have a fullback. But you look at the quarterback position. Michael Penix can make all the throws just like Matt Ryan could, but his arm's just a little bit stronger. We talked about the running back position with Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Look at B. John and Tyler Algier. Same type duo, because Devontae Freeman was sort of the power back, while Tevin Coleman was the lightning of the crew. And there's a lot of eerie similarities, man. And I just feel like with those similarities, I could see why they're saying Michael Penix could be a dark horse.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. The talent is there. But hey, what's good, Kier? Said I've seen some national media and big Twitter accounts, not Falcon fans, show that they really don't watch Penix. The last 3 games, I just looked at last 3 games and just looked at the touchdown and interceptions and win-loss, but okay, let them sleep. Hey, and the thing about it is I am optimistic. I don't want to sound like I'm a Debbie Downer on this or anything, but I'm just saying, man, guys, that's a lot to put on Michael Penix, you know, saying to be a dark horse as for MVP candidate and essentially his rookie season. I know he had the 3 games, and I ain't gonna lie, those 3 games, the sample size was better than some quarterbacks' whole season.
Absolutely. Austin Hooper as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. Austin Hooper definitely. Oh, Hoop was a big target on that team. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's tough. It is tough. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're saying. I see what they're saying. But again, there's also an experience factor that has to factor in too. You know, Matt Ryan, experienced quarterback. Julio Jones, experienced wide receiver that's seen every bit of coverage that you possibly could find by 2016. He's seen everything, you know, and then at the same time, the game of the NFL was played differently back then than what it is now. Yes, we have better running backs, I think, right now. I mean, some people will say, you know, maybe not. I mean, but I like Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. more so than Tevin and Devontae overall. But again, I know it's still early because I don't want to take away from what those two gentlemen did for Atlanta at all. But
Right.
God, the experience factor for me, it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of guys that are great quarterbacks right now that's going to be coming for that MVP. A lot of great teams. Again, it's so much that works against you. And I just don't think that we should put that much pressure. I think trying to get to the playoffs is already pressure enough. Let's and just focus on that and and if this does happen, then hey, that's just be a pleasant surprise for us. But to put that much pressure on Michael Penix again coming into his essentially his rookie season, he still has to face different coverages. He still has to go through growing pains. Experience factor. That's just what it comes down for me. Experience factor. This defense, and everything clicking. It's so much that has to click and go for you. Not saying that it can't. We've seen things, and come together in football. But to go into it with that kind of expectation of Michael Penix, I think we should just, to make sure he can get through the season healthy, go through his progressions, not stare down receivers, not be patting the baby behind, in the line of scrimmage, being able to make the right decisions. I think that's more important to see, can he handle those things on a long-term basis in a full season, more so than worrying about whether he's going to be an MVP.
I agree 100%. Like you and Kerry said, you just got to pray for health. You
Yeah,
talk about 2 ACL injuries, so keeping him upright is probably going to be the most important thing, especially when we're worried about the right tackle position. That's going to be his blind side. You have to think about health more than anything. But what I feel like Zach Robinson has to do, like Kyle Shanahan did with Matt Ryan, he had to find his weaknesses and find a way to hide those, because we all knew Matt Ryan wasn't a deep ball guy, even though he could throw the football deep and accurate. We know that wasn't his game. So what did Kyle Shanahan come up with as an offensive coordinator? He came up with slants, he came up with screens, and he came up, with quick hitting plays, 3 to 5 step drops, get the ball out real quick. That was Matt Ryan's style. One game I remember from that season.
Just to piggyback off of that, to add to that about, you see how you said about what Kyle Shanahan did and everything like that. As much as I have, like, okay, there's no love lost for me with Kyle Shanahan. Okay, like I'm not a Kyle Shanahan guy. We already know that. But at the same time, like, we have to understand that was an experienced guy who's seen a lot of the same thing. Like I was saying about Julio, don't seen just about everything you can throw at him. Again, you got to think about this as well too. Mike Shanahan being his dad, he came up in football. It's a lot of things that you can say that was advantages for Kyle Shanahan, and it just finally came out. And of course, it was the second year, so I understand again on why people can say that about Zach Robinson. But can Zach Robinson turn into Kyle Shanahan? I think that's a lot of pressure to put on him, because again, Shanahan was experienced. Shanahan was already a guy who was putting together stuff, and this is year 2 for Zach. Can he do it? I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying, like, it's no point of just trying to put all that pressure on him. I just want to see a competent offense that's putting points on the board and winning games. I'm saying, like honestly, like, I just want competence. I just want, some competition, and I want to win football games, get to the playoffs. All the MVP stuff and everything like that, I just, that's not important to me right now. Staying healthy, being able to compete in December and in January when it mostly matters. That's where it's really like, Matt, that's where my focus is, not dark horse MVPs.
And the crazy thing is, man, as I look at it, like I said, with Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan, he knew how to hide those deficiencies. He knew what Matt Ryan was strong at. And all Zach Robinson has to do is get in the film room and do the same thing. But I think the key to this team being as strong as that team is probably going to lean on the run game more than the pass game, because you talk about a young quarterback. A young quarterback should rely on his run game to make the game a little bit easier and more tolerable. And what I mean by that, I feel like when you can take pressure off the quarterback, it just makes it easier for him to throw the ball. And you saw it the last 3 games when Bijan and Tyler were running the ball effectively. Michael Penix sat back there in the pocket, a lot of confidence, had time to throw, and he made the throws he needed to make. Now, even though he made mistakes along the way, that's these quarterbacks are going to do that. Second year quarterbacks are going to do it. So what Zach Robinson has to do, like I said, to prevent those mistakes, he has to dial up, middle screens, put Bijan Robinson in space like we talked about last year. With Tyler Algier, he had to know when to use him, short downs, medium downs, wear down the defense. Then you talk about Kyle Pitts. He would probably be, well, I said Drake London is Julio in his offense, but it probably would have to be Kyle Pitts with the size and the speed because that's what Julio had. So we talked about the Falcons not having Roddy White in that Super Bowl.
Kyle doesn't have Julio speed though. Let's just come on now.
They say he runs a 4.4, but he wasn't running like that last year. But I bet the difference. We'll see how that turns out this year.
Yes, we will.
But I feel like they have all the weapons that 2016 team had. All the offense coordinator has to do is put everything in place for this team to succeed. And we always talk about situational play calling. Situational play calling with that 2016 team was straight impeccable. They could draw up a play at the 20-yard line and be on the other 20 in 3 plays. That's how good that offense was. Because
that offense was legendary. I mean,
they knew how to dial up play. Right. They knew how to dial up play action at the right time. They knew how to run zone. They knew how to run that zone offense at the right time. They knew what personnel to have on the field. They just situational. They were just perfect. So that's why it's going to be hard to emulate that team.
Being able to have that situational football, so making the smart plays, making the right reads, everything, guys. Again, like it says that my Fogo says, my thing is if his numbers are similar, how can they deny him? Ryan had 38-7, 4,900. If Penix can somehow go 40-48, 44-8, and 46, he should be in the conversation. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Michael Penix do that, I feel like we're one of the top seeds. And what people are also saying as well, they're trying to ask us to compare the defenses, like the defense back then compared to the defense now. And yeah, we do have some guys that started as rookies on that defense, and we're going to have some guys that's going to start as rookies, on this defense.
Crazy thing. Grady Jarrett was only in his second season. Deion Jones was a rookie. Brian Poole was a rookie. Keanu Neal was a rookie. So they had three key rookie starters on that defense outside of Desmond Trufant, who was hurt. And he was their best cornerback. He was hurt. And now you look at what they have on defense now is AJ Terrell. He would be the Desmond Trufant in this team. Grady Jarrett, I think Rook would be the second-year defensive tackle, but we don't really know what he's capable of doing yet. Could this be his breakout year in his second season if they get things going in the right direction? But I think what the key thing to that was, and what's similar to this team, is the defensive line coach. I remember Brian Cox was the defensive line coach of this team in 2016. He had that no nonsense type mentality. The Ali kid that came over from Indianapolis, Nate Ali, who came over. I think he had that same type pedigree. Because if you remember him playing in Indianapolis, and we talk about this all the time, a guy who had an Indianapolis team with 6 to 7 guys with 6+ sacks, spread it out. Everybody was producing. So when everybody was producing,
wait a minute, So answer me this. So one of our guys that we just drafted, or maybe even possibly Arnold Abicati, you're saying that they may turn into Vic Beasley this year, and is Leonard Floyd our Dwight Freeney?
It's possible, exactly. And sometimes a veteran that's proven. Sometimes all these young players need is a mentor on the field to help them get to where they need to be. And let's keep it real. I tell you all the time. You've heard me say this 1,000 times. We know coaches coach, but at the end of the day, what about the position player that plays the same position that you do, that sees the same thing that you do, that can coach you while you on the field, and you making big plays? Yeah, why not? It makes sense. So hey, he could be the Dwight Freeney of this team. Who knows?
Oh, but yeah, that's a big if, man, because Dwight Freeney, you know who Dwight Freeney is, and I just to him and Leonard Floyd in the same category, that's tough for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I
right?
do understand what you're
But no,
saying.
no, I'm not putting them in the same category. I'm saying
No, are you saying as
they can
far as
have that
veteran
same type of
leadership?
effect.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. As far as
Yeah,
veteran leadership, they can have that same type of effect.
yeah, I would love it. So I would love it. I would love to see it. So like I'm optimistic about it because I believe in this team. I do, but it's just at the same time just being realistic. Experience do matter. What happens when guys are really dialing up plays to try to come after Michael Penix? Is he going to be able to read everything the right way? I understand that he reads coverage as well, like probably one of the best in that draft class to be able to do that. And I will put this out there as well. You look at Jaden Daniels last year, and he was in the MVP conversation for a brief moment. So is it possible? Yes, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying it's crazy, far-fetched, or anything. I'm just saying, guys, let's focus on the right now. Let's keep the main thing, and that's getting to the playoffs and having a winning season. If we get the MVP, so be it. But I'm ready to see a competent offense. I'm ready to see what Zach Robinson can do in pretty much his first year with Michael Penix. What can Michael Penix do in pretty much his first full season as our quarterback? I want him healthy. I want him competent. And at the end of the day, that's what I care about right now.
And I'm
MVPs,
gonna
we can
throw out
as long as he stay healthy, we have plenty of time for Michael
and I'm gonna
Penix to
throw
be
out this quick
the
fact as
MVP
well. Throw out
instead
this
of a
quick fact
Cardinal.
as well. Y'all got to remember Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich were coaches on that team as well.
They were.
So
They,
they know exactly how to use Dan Quinn's blueprint, if you want to call it that, to build a successful team. All they have to do is build a successful team, which I think they've done over the last 2 years. Even though they're not getting the credit for it from the media, I see the
Mhm.
vision. And if you see the vision, you can see they're building this team similar to that team. So all you got to do is just give it time. All they got to do is give it time, hoping the chemistry works out, hoping the coaches can do their job. And if they can do that, I don't see why he cannot be MVP candidate. But like you said, first things first. Let's get through this season. Let's win the NFC South, and we go from there. If we
Yeah,
can win
man.
the NFC South and go from there, hey, I'm good with that because I'll know that we're building on something special because we got our quarterback last year. That's the cornerstone of the team.
Needed
This
that.
past draft, you get two bookend edge rushers who could be the cornerstone of this defense for the next 4 years. Which means, yeah, y'all talk about the first round picks, but think about it. Without having to pay a first round pick, we can probably add that piece to make this a Super Bowl team if
Mhm.
we make this a playoff team in 2025. It's just something to think about. You
It
know,
is.
like,
Um,
like I said,
and
it's no. Go ahead.
I was about to say, and it's just so funny that you say add a piece to make this a Super Bowl winning roster because there is still a guy out there that hasn't heard from his team, man, and he just trying to figure out what's going on. He like, little homie don't left me on stuck. And I'm talking about Mr. Trey Hendrickson. I said like yeah, man, they don't left little homie on stuck. He anxiously trying to get this thing situated and he doesn't know what's going to happen. Now I know we talked about adding corner, as in Jalen Ramsey. We've talked about Jair Alexander. We've even talked about Asante Samuel Jr. or others, or even just holding what you got on that. But hey, would you guys be interested if the price is low enough to add Trey Hendrickson to what we got? And if we do, somebody's going to have to go. And who would you be interested in sending out? So it's interesting. Is the Trey Hendrickson trade still worth pursuing right now with the defensive line that we
That's a
have, with the
great point.
draft that we have, the undrafted free agents that that we have? Is it still
I'm
worth it for
gonna
the Atlanta Falcons?
I'm gonna pull up the defense again right quick. Before we move ahead, let's pull it back up right quick because I feel like in a way it's worth it, but in a way, I feel like we have enough. But you can never have too many edge rushers. And like I said,
Okay,
man,
pull up this.
before
Let's see what we got.
When you can add to a team and make it one of the best rosters in the league, because you got to think, man, the NFC South got stronger after the draft. And then you think about what we've added also. You look at Morgan Fox is probably going to start at the left defensive end. Um, he's a 4-3 in or a 4-3 inside guy. Talk about Zach Harrison. You can use him outside and inside as well. Rook is probably going to be the nose tackle. David Onyemata is probably going to play the other end. So you have your big front that I've preached about the last 6 months. So now you have that in place. Then you look at Jalen Walker on the outside, who they have. Then Pierce on the outside of him. But I think honestly, I think Leonard Floyd is going to start on the other side of Jalen Walker, and Pierce is going to be a rotational guy for the time being. Then you talk about Divine Diablo, who can play sideline to sideline. You can use him as a blitzer as well. Caden Ellis, who I think is going to be more of a pass rusher this year. Then Abbott Ketty, who you talk about. Then we talk about Braylon Trice. Y'all think we forgot about him? No, we actually haven't forgot about him. But you got to think he's coming back from injury, so this is why we don't really talk about it. We just got to wait to see exactly what he's going to be. So when we figure out what he's going to be, and then you add him to this defense, I think then you cooking with fish grease, because think about it. As we talked about, three of these guys led college football in pass rush win rate, and all three of them is on this team. You talk about James Pierce, you talk about Braylon Trice, and you talk about Quentin Dorlis. Brandon Dorlis, I'm sorry, Brandon Dorlis.
Who the hell is Quentin?
When you talk about those three guys, and if they're coached right, that effectiveness can come to the next level. Now, we didn't see a lot of Brandon Dorlis last year. I don't know what was going on. I wasn't there. I'm not a coach, but I'm just gonna say maybe it was something he wasn't catching on to in the film room. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to get him.
What Dorlis was last season.
But I'm trying to tell you. But I'm just saying, man, it's just so many eerie similarities for this team to be successful, just like that 2016 team. That's all I'm saying. It's just too many eerie similarities. King Richard, what's up, my guy? Go ahead, Chris.
Smitty and A1 was good, family. Yeah, but man, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. In the beginning, you know what I'm saying? I think I was on board with it. I would think I was. But now, I ain't on board with this. I ain't gonna lie to you, family. I'm not on board with it. I feel like even though he would, you know, add to the defense, I'm not willing to pay the price tag. And it's just like at this point, it's like Bengals, are you gonna be willing to give him away? Just give him away to us for like maybe like a 6th-round draft pick or something. Because I'm thinking like, okay, who you trade for? I mean, you're gonna trade Albert? Are you gonna trade, you know what I'm saying, Kyle Pitts?
That's what I would be thinking. You have to get them edge rush in return, because they need edge rushes. You would either have to get them an edge rusher or a defensive tackle. I could see Dorlis being added in that deal. And I can see a 2027 3rd-round pick. It doesn't have to be next year. It could be the year after. And when we talk about contracts, if you trade for him right now, you can sign him to a new deal, but his contract doesn't start the next year, so it wouldn't affect the salary cap this year. He would still play on this year's salary, which I think is about, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 20 million. But 40 million is a lot of money, and I get that for a 31-year-old.
Bro, come on, man. That's just ridiculous. You know, we just got bookends, we got young players, and for me too, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I love my veterans and stuff like that, but it comes a point in time to where, for me, I don't want to hinder the development of my young guys. And, you know, bringing in a Trey Hendrickson, yeah, that's going to happen. And my thing is, Arnold Albacete is still cheaper, way cheaper than you know, saying Trey Hendrickson right now. Let's see if with these new players that we have, it'll free him up more. We have guys that's coming back with more size, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's, you know what I'm saying, like what Laquel London's 330, Rook has gained some size, Dorlis has gained some size. So we're beefing up these guys anyway. Let's see what our guys can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we drafted these guys We got a lot of guys on rookie contracts and everything. Let's see what we have. Let's not go messing it up yet again by trying to go trade for Trey Hendrickson and giving him. I'm not giving him no 40 freaking million. I'm just not doing that, Trey. No. It's already one
Trey
Trey in
Henderson,
Atlanta. He's getting 40
his
million.
cap
I'm
number
not
for this year
paying.
is 18.6.
I'm not
Yeah.
paying two Treys
His
for
cap
40.
hit for 2025 is 18.6. And that's the last year of his deal, man. So 18.6. And if you sign him to a new deal, he can play the 18.6 out this year and start whatever you would pay him next year. But I agree. I would not do it because what I just drafted and what I already have, with them having confidence in what they have in that interior defensive line, I
Right,
think they have enough talent to have an effective pass rush, and especially if it's going to be defensive end by committee, meaning you're
right.
going to have a slew of guys going out to sacks. Like I said, if they can get 45 guys with 6+ sacks, that's a win in my book. Because
Hey,
guess what? That means all of them on the same page, and
right.
I just don't think it would be worth it.
Yeah, everybody's
So yeah, I
attacking, and
would
you know what
say
I'm
that
saying?
it wouldn't be
And we
worth
know that Nate Ollie has that ability to be able to transform defensive lines and turning them into, you know what I'm saying, like NASCAR guys who just coming after the quarterback, 5 sacks here, 6 sacks there,
it. Right.
7 sacks there, 4 sacks here. I'm just saying, like, I don't think anybody's going to complain if we have over 40, 50 sacks. And you know what I'm saying, nobody necessarily has over 10 sacks, but if we have multiple guys, 7, 8 guys that has 6 to 8 sacks, are we complaining about that? I don't think we are. And I think that's a win for Atlanta.
Nope. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man.
And we talk about, the sacks he's had the last couple of years. He had what 35 sacks the last 2 years, which is top 5 in the NFL. Yeah, the numbers are good. But what if he doesn't transition well to the scheme that we're trying to run? He's a 4-3 defensive end. What if we run 3-4? He has to stand up and use more of his hand usage, which I know he has. We
Mm-hmm.
know he can set the edge. We know he can do all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, you can.
But what if we had the same type player in James Pierce Jr.? What if we had the same type player in Braylon Trice? Then
Right.
it's wasted, it's wasted money and not wasted money, but
Wasting a
it's
year
money you
though.
could have saved. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
money that you could have saved to pay somebody, next year. Because
right,
trust me, there's gonna be another contract. Jesse Bates is one of those guys.
right.
What if you get a Trey Henderson and you can't pay Jesse Bates and you lose
No
one of your
thank
best defensive players? There you go.
you. I'm saying
So
no
look,
thank you. I would rather just hold what I got. I don't think we necessarily just need anybody. I think we have enough undrafted free agents. I think, like I said, Terry Gwinton got the groceries in the draft, undrafted and drafted. I feel like we have enough talent, enough
right.
competition to see what we have, get the best players on the field, see what we have. Let's see what our result. Then at this season's end of next year, when the money gets better for Atlanta, because next season our money is going to be in salary cap going to be way better than what it is right now. So I'm just saying, let's play it out, develop the guys, see what we have, and then going into next season, we can be like, okay, we have more money. We can pay a few guys. We can possibly go get a few pieces. We need to get better in this area. Let's go get this guy. Like come on, man. Like, it's strategy. All right. You know what I'm saying? It's chess, not checkers at all.
Yeah, and think about it. With the bookings that you have, you're going to have to save money for the next. I would say after next year, you can go out and get a key player, but after that, you got to know when to sit your hand down because those 4 years will be up before you know it. Trust me,
Right, bro.
time goes by fast, and you got if Jalen and James Pierce produce like we think they're going to produce, you got to keep both of those guys. You got to find a way to keep both of those guys. And I know
There you
Jake
go.
Matthews is getting long in the tooth. That's one position you ain't gonna worry about for 2 years. So if they want to go get an offensive tackle next year in the draft, they could. But guess what? Jake Matthews is still gonna be here. So sometimes it's just timing, man. If you get the timing down and when you need to replace everybody, it's called retooling. If they can retool the right way, the Falcons have a winning organization for years to come.
And that's our whole point, man. That's the whole freaking point right there. I don't think we
Drake
need
still
to
got to
do
get paid.
anything.
Bijan gonna be up soon.
Right,
Absolutely,
bro. Come on. That's what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
contracts up
that's
before you
a
know
lot
it, man. Because think about it. Bijan is his third year this year. Third year.
already.
So
Already now.
next year will be his fifth year option year. And you
Right.
know he's gonna want to get paid. So they may pay him early. Who knows?
You never know.
But I just feel like
Drake
it's just
London,
too much.
he's coming up. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like Kyle
Kyle
Pitts, you still
Pitts.
have to make a
Right.
decision because if he balls, do you pay him? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we have some decisions to make. Think about our offensive line. In a minute, Bergeron is coming around.
Right.
Yeah, you want to keep that line, right? I'm just saying, like Chris Lindstrom is going to be coming up in a couple of seasons again. Like, what are you going to do with Caleb McGarry? Are you moving on from him? Because so it's just like it's a lot of decisions that still have to be made. And if you end up throwing in this Cogs, I'm trying to tell you that it's going to be bad for you. I don't think we need him anymore. It's not a need. Like I said, unless you're just going to give him away, or maybe he gets traded at the deadline and you add to him, like you add that piece and just like use him as an enforcer for the rest of the season because you got him at the trade deadline. He's a lot cheaper. Maybe if we're in playoff contention and if we look like, hey, we just need like one more edge rusher and maybe we can, take off seriously, then okay, that's a different conversation later on this year.
Yeah, if
But
it
right
ever
now,
toward the playoff push, yeah, that's totally
right,
different.
if it's a playoff
Yeah.
push, then trade deadline, we'll see what happens if it gets to that point. Outside of that, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, y'all.
Hey, Mr. Wilder, we ain't trying to figure out the cap. We just know that it's gonna be more cap space next year. And it
Yeah,
ain't no
that's
need of wasting it. Because
that's it.
let's be real. I mean, look, contracts gonna come around every year, whether we like it or not. And sometimes that's how we get cap casualties. But if they keep everything in place like just like they have now with these young guys, and then they pay the veterans, and by the time the young guys are ready to produce, then they make a decision on everybody else. That's all I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. It happens. And honestly, I know the salary cap, right now is kind of funny because we just signed a draft class. But
Right.
I just feel like you got to keep the right guys around, just like Grill said. Jesse Bates needs to be one of those guys. He's just got to stick around, man, because what he's meant as a leader, what he's done the last 2 years as a defensive leader, he's one of those guys you just got to keep around. You just drafted two safeties that he's got to, I wouldn't say train, but I got to say help develop because, like I said,
Right.
on the field, he's going to tell those guys what he sees on the field. They're going to have to pick up on it in the film room during the game and after the
Absolutely.
game and however when else you want to talk about it. So, yeah, I know the salary cap
Want
is
to
a
keep
hard
them
thing to talk about,
veterans, the
but
meaningful
yeah,
veterans if you can.
right.
Gotta try to keep them meaningful veterans. I mean, okay, we already still have fans that still upset about Grady. I mean, should we have players, who are still upset about Grady? So I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, but
if we
that
can,
to me,
let's try to keep our
that
veterans we have now.
yeah, in that case, that was production over numbers. And what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by that, he didn't put out the production to get 17 million, 18 million a year. So I understood it. And like I said, you can't get tired of players. Why? Because sometimes that happens. Production don't equal, what the pay scale is. So yeah, I mean, it just happens. D Rich, yeah, Justin Simmons good is gone. When they drafted both of those safeties, yeah,
His number
that
has already been given out too. Watts
and,
has his number now, I believe. So
and I think he's actually in Philly right now. So I think he's going to
yeah, he
sign
wants
with
to
the
play
Eagles, if
for
I'm not
Fantail
mistaken.
again.
Yeah, and I knew it. I said that 4 weeks ago. So yeah, I knew that where he was going to go. And it makes sense. They need help in the position, and his old coach is there from
Mm,
Denver. So I get it. So he's going to put Justin in a position to make plays. And I feel like that's something that Jimmy Lake did not do. So
man, Jimmy Lake didn't
yeah,
do that.
that was another conversation, man. Yeah.
That's
But yeah, man. Look, I'm trying to told you, but look, yeah, those are two players that yeah, that Trey Henderson. Trust me, I would love it. And let's just look at this right quick before we move on. I mean, before we
What's that?
close out the show. I wanted y'all to see what they put Adam Schefter put on Twitter about Justin. I'm sorry, Trey Henderson and the situation that's going on in Cincinnati. And this is the reason why wherever he goes, I think it's going to be a discount because at this point, the price has fallen from the damn first or second round that they wanted. But It says no communication is taking place between the camp and the organization post draft, and that's crazy. The offers prior to the draft did not reflect the vision we shared and promised last offseason. If I continue to play at a high level, coaches are aware of these past conversations. Rather than using collaboration to get us to a point, bringing me to the home team, they are no longer communicating. And that is the key. When you are no longer communicating with the team, that means you find somewhere to go and try to get the price lower to get moved. And because trust me, he gonna get trade. Somebody's gonna trade for him. And I can name one team right now, and we just talked about it. Indianapolis Colts need an edge rusher. So
Oh yeah,
he's gonna get traded. And there are teams out here still had a cap space to pay him this year. But he said I've been eagerly awaiting a resolution. Right. But that's hard to do when there's no discussion and evident lack of interest. And then look, it's just no way around it, man. I mean, the way they're doing that, man, is just sad, man. And
that's tough, bro.
If they don't care, go ahead.
Wait a minute. You just mentioned something. And it's just crazy. You mentioned those Indianapolis Colts, and it's something else that's going on with these Indianapolis Colts that's regarding the Atlanta Falcons. And it was announced today that the Colts will be hosting the Atlanta Falcons November 9th, week 10 in Berlin, Germany.
And yes, that's probably right before. I would say that's right before the bye week or right after the bye week. It's going to be one or the other, but I would think it's before, because after that game, it seems like those two teams go on a bye. So when you have a long
that's a 12-hour
vacation like that, yeah, about a 12, 13-hour flight. Yeah. When you have a long trip like that, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be out the following week. So I'm thinking and I'm banking on it. And me and Chris, when they drop the schedule, we're gonna jump on live and talk about it. But I feel like that'll be out by week 11. And I've seen opponents. The schedule will be out in 2 days. But yeah, I feel like oh no, Mike, I ain't going. No, I can't afford that.
It's always say y'all go. I would love to go to Berlin, Germany. I'm not gonna lie to you. I may not be there, but you may see your boy A1 in Arizona. We'll see.
Yeah, you might see A1 in Arizona. I dealt with a tank top on streaking down the boulevard.
Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't one thing I ain't gonna do is tarnish my name at all. You got to throw a mask on. Then you got to run down streaking down the boulevard. Come on, Smitty. Wrong with you, man.
Oh man.
No face, no case.
What Vontae honestly had faith in Anthony Richardson before last season, but he honestly just not good. And see, that's the problem that's the thing with taking first round quarterbacks. If you don't do your homework on it, you'll get burned. You can't all the time go off of just physical abilities. Yeah, he can sling the football. Yeah, he's 6'5", 200-something pounds, like a fullback, but his accuracy is garbage. So yeah.
Man, I hate it for old Anthony Richardson, man. I do, man. But it's tough, man. They got to figure something out. Vontae said, "Hey, I'm from Arizona. I'm trying to see the game in Atlanta for the first time this season." Hey, man, pull up, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the bins right here too. Hey, man, shout out to my cousin right here, man. More to live for, man. Says shouts out to A1 and the co-host. Yeah, man. Shout out to my cousin right there, man. Make sure you go check his page out. Now, he doesn't talk sports. Not gonna lie to you, but he does talk things that's just that's real, and you know what I'm saying, people just telling their stories, all different things you can find over there. So yeah, man, check out More to Live For.
Facts. That's what I'm talking about, man. I had a question. I'm looking for it. If y'all got a question, throw it in the chat. I can't find it, man.
I see Greer Wilson said a lot of people are sleeping on Leonard Floyd. We probably need to leave a little room to keep him around next year too, if he looks good this year. And that's a valid point.
That's true. And you can sign him from year to year. Yeah, that's a valid point. You can sign him from year to year. Joel, what do you think our defense gonna be ranked? That's hard to say. Get back with me when the preseason over, and I've had a chance to look at them and see how they're being coached. because if the second and third string is being coached properly, that lets you know that the first string is going to do what they need to do and they're going to be coached properly. But it's all about production. I'll give you an answer when the preseason.
Look at Smitty being safe. I'm gonna say 19th. We're gonna be 19th.
I'm gonna stay safe.
Now we're gonna be 19th or better. That's what I'm gonna say. Hey, but the thing about it is, being 19th wouldn't be bad though if the offense is booming.
No, because these 2016 team, they were ranked in the 20s, I think.
Bro, we was like 28th, 29th.
Yeah, we made it off with pure offense and key stops. That sometimes that's all you need. But Richie said he got a question. Who would the speed receiver on the team? I see size, but not speed. That's a great question.
Who is the speed on the team?
Ray McLeod is the one.
Yeah.
Nick Nash, we just signed, but he's got to grow. He's another one. Darnell Moon is pretty fast.
Yeah, Darnell still has some speed to him too.
Yeah, so those would be my three to guess. But yeah, and the other undrafted free agent, Quincy Skinner, I think from Vanderbilt, I think he runs like a 4.3. So he has speed, but we'll see. Can they make the team? King Richard said we were 26. See, I knew we were 27.
Oh, see what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, bro. Like, yeah, we was up there though. That's what I'm saying. So 19th, that wouldn't be bad. We're actually a better team.
Yeah, I was born and raised here. I believe
Georgia, Texas boy down there in Arizona.
Yeah,
y'all make sure y'all show up to the Falcons versus Cardinals game now.
Facts. But if y'all got another question before we get out of here, go and drop it before we get out of here.
Yeah, man, got to get ready to slide.
Like I said, man, please send a prayer to my boy Isaac Crimes, man, on the loss of a loved one, man. Just please pray for him, man. And yeah. But these two topics, man, we had to talk about them because sometimes, see Twitter, I think it makes for a good topic. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about it.
Right. Yeah, man. We see it popped up and we was like, when Smitty had showed it to me, I said, "Oh Lord, they finna take off." I was like, "All right, let's talk about it. Let's get into it." Let's say who's your
that's a great question. That's a tough question right now.
On defense this year. My standout, that is tough, but I'm gonna go with one early, and then I'm gonna come back with one right before the season, after preseason, and it may change. But right now, I'm gonna say Kaden Ellis.
That's a good one. I'm gonna throw a curveball.
Okay.
And this is because I would like to see this person transition this year, and that's Clark Phillips III, because I feel like that kid has so much untapped potential. It's scary. Because we see him make plays during the season to let y'all know he's one of them ones, no matter what his size is, he can make plays. Because you saw the interception return in Carolina that could have been a pick six. You saw him making key tackles against the Saints. So he's one of those guys I feel like this year, if he makes a stride in that nickel, this defense is going to be tough to beat because one, he's going to be helping the linebackers in the middle of the field, or he's going to be helping Mike Hughes on the outside. So I would love to see Clark Phillips turn the corner this year and become a key defensive contributor. Craig said, "Do y'all see Kurt staying with us the whole season or traded midway through?"
That's a tough question.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think he gets traded when the cap casualties come out in the preseason. There's going to be one quarterback that gets cut that they don't want to pay or that gets hurt, and that team is going to take Kirk Cousins. And depending on what happens with Aaron Rodgers, which I don't see him going to Pittsburgh, I still can see the Steelers trade for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I still can see that too. Maybe. I'm thinking it could be like maybe mid-season, like maybe toward like the trade deadline. Somebody gets hurt, somebody needs a quarterback. It's desperate times. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and they call up the Atlanta Falcons and say, "Hey, man, you still trying to get rid of that Kirk Cousins guy?" I think it could be something.
Yeah, they gonna and look. Honestly, I think they were asking for a little bit too much for somebody to take on that contract because at the end of the day, y'all made the mistakes, so y'all deal with it. I feel like they should have just say, if y'all just take 5 million, 10 million of it, I'm fine with that. And we'll take a 5th-round pick. And I would have took that because one thing, you don't need that distraction on the team. And I've said that 1,000 times. And that's what I would be thinking about. But hey, who knows? If the team still accept Curry in the locker room, I'm fine with that too. But DeAndre said, what do you think about the nickname Squirrel for James Pierce Jr.? I believe
Okay.
because he moves twitchy like a squirrel, just my personal nickname for him. I could see that. But my nickname for him, and I said it on the short, dude is built like a tank. So I would call him Tank.
You gonna call him Tank?
This dude, man, I mean, they say 6'5", 245. That dude is at least 265.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. James Pierce Jr. is a towering force. Man, my personal nickname for him was really just JPJ, almost like JPP, because that's kind of like almost like who he kind of reminds me of, and as another guy that was around that size.
Right.
And we know that he was a dominant. We know that he was a force, especially back, some of the Giants days, and of course, I know he became kind of a journeyman after that a little bit. But that guy, man, yeah, man, JPJ for me.
Yeah, I can roll with that. DeAndre, man, thank you for the
Oh,
donation.
King Richard said he says he liked JPJ, so yeah, so I'm on the right track.
Pastor Moses said I'm calling the top 10 defense and top 5 offense in the perfect storm.
Well, listen,
that
here,
would be
Pastor.
tough.
I ain't gonna lie
If that's the case,
shout about that one.
Yeah, if that's the case,
For real.
I can see us hanging with Philly because Philly is going to be in that same conversation: top 10 defense, top 5 offense, and it's mainly because of Saquon Barkley, and we had that same type running back in Bijan Robinson. So, I mean, let the games begin. If that happens, yeah, it's going to be a deep playoff run because guess what? 9 times out of 10, you can't stop us on offense, and we can shut you down on defense. If that offense runs the ball and controls the clock, keeps that defense fresh, and guess what? It keeps those young legs fresh getting after the quarterback. So that's going to be key.
And to the point of the great Steve Weiss, and if you guys missed that interview, make sure you can go check it out on Smitty's page or on my page as well, A1 Forever Sports. Great interview we had with Steve Weiss, and like he said too, man, toward the end of the season, we got to make sure that we're locking down teams anyway. You can't be going into those shootouts, 30 points a game and everything like that, like you did last season. So if we're locking teams up, and I believe we're doing it if we have a top 10 defense. So yeah, we can stop you and we can score on you too. Falcons could go from worst to worst to first. Why not?
It could happen. It could happen. Yeah, King Richard. I think Chris said that earlier. He said he's bigger than Kyle Pitts, and Kyle Pitts 253 supposed to be. But yeah, I can see he got to be at least 265, man. I'm just saying. That's just my estimation. Joel said Kurt going to the Saints or the Steelers. If they trade him to the division rivals,
I
wouldn't do that. No.
I'm not trading you to the Saints at all. I don't care what the Saints are. You know what? If the Saints offer me a 1st-round pick next year,
don't do that.
And now, hold on, let me fit it. 1st-round pick next year, and you pay the whole 27, and I promise you, I'll drive Kirk Cousins to you myself. Outside of that, I'm not trading the Saints Kirk Cousins, because why would I help the Saints to get a quarterback at all? They wouldn't do that for us. Like, imagine us being in that situation. They wouldn't.
Nah, D. Rich, he ain't going to Seattle. They just signed Sam Darnold. He's not going to Seattle.
Sam Darnold.
And they added Jalen Milroe, I think. They traded Sam Howell to the Vikings. So they have 2 quarterbacks there. But I would love for him to stay here as a backup. He helped Michael Penix in the film room and ride it out one more season, because next season I think his dead cap is only $10 million. So look, I take that $10 million dead cap space and just run with it, because that's cheap compared to what he cost this year.
Yeah. Oh, we got one more super chat.
Appreciate you again, DeAndre. He said Curry has to go to the Saints. We need to test out.
Like Curtis just dropped back a few times. We're gonna send some young guys after you and see what you got.
Yeah, Sam Howell. That's who they took.
Yeah,
That's who
yeah,
they traded for. The Vikings
yeah.
did. Because y'all got to remember, JJ McCarthy. Um, we don't know what's going to happen with him. They say he'll be ready, but he had a setback.
See,
And I've been seeing, analysts. I've been seeing content creators talking about Kurt possibly going back to Minnesota. But I don't think they'll take him back. Especially after he burned them last year, because I think they were supposed to sign him instead of Sam Darnold, and it just didn't go right.
yeah, that's true.
Hey, Craig, you tripping, man? Just so you can knock the man head off, really?
Dang, that's crazy, man. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm not helping the Saints out at all. I just know they wouldn't help us. I'm not helping them in no facet at all. Am I helping y'all? I'm just not.
Right.
Good luck with your
Right.
rookie quarterbacks, your Spencer Rattler, your Cho, Bo, whatever his name, whatever. Good luck, okay? That's all I got to say. Good luck. I'm not trading Kirk Cousins nowhere in the NFC South.
Yeah, I keep him as a backup, man. Like I said, he can help Penix learn in the film room, practice
Yep,
field, anywhere. And then you can't cry about it. You're paying him $27 million to do that, to hold a clipboard. Yeah, you can give me $200 and I hold a clipboard. Come on, man. What are we
just
talking
saying.
about?
Just saying.
Richie said, you taking a first and fifth at the half contract? What I'm doing.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
he's
I'll talk
traded at
about
the
that.
deadline,
We'll talk about that too, though.
yeah,
First and the
if he's
fifth
traded at
next
the
year.
deadline, they
After
probably
contract.
could get what they want. But right now, they're not getting what they want. If a team
Right.
needs a quarterback, emergency wise, yeah, they gonna get what they want. But right now, they not getting more than the fourth. Just
Hmm.
keep it real with y'all.
Right now, we just got Kurt on ice, so we got him aging like fine wine, we hope. And,
Appreciate
so
you.
everything like that. Thank you, Fish. Appreciate that. And that my thing is Kirk Cousins, if we can just hold on to him until we no longer have to use him, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm keeping him around, man. I'm keeping him around for right now.
Facts. But yeah, man, another great pop-up show, man. Been on an hour and we said 30 to 45 minutes, but when you get to talking, man, the conversation get good. Hey, you just
Hey,
gotta keep on rolling with it. But as we always do, man, tell everybody where to find you, man.
like, man, you already know it's A1 Forever Sports. That's the platform on YouTube. Make sure you guys, it is after 5, and make sure you guys find your peace today, because positive energy always creates elevation. That's how you find your peace today. Also, catch your boy on the Hawks Digest, as well. Tonight, in less than 2 hours now, we have the NBA draft lottery. Implications for the Atlanta Hawks possibly
We
getting an
might
extra
jump on
pick.
for that.
Yep. Complications for that. Excuse me, implications for that. If things
Yeah,
do
it's
get a
gonna be
little
complication.
complicated,
They
though.
picked the wrong damn person. It's gonna be complication.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
you're right.
well,
You're right.
well, hopefully we will be able to have 2 draft picks coming up in this year's draft. But we'll see what happens around 7 p.m. But yeah, definitely come on over to the Hawks Digest, as we've dropped a few videos pertaining to that, so you can definitely get your information there. And also, TikTok, the real A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever, and of course X or Twitter, Twix, whatever, A1 Forever as well on
Hey, that's
there,
what I
man.
said. I hate you
Yeah,
said it. Now I want a damn Twix. God
yeah.
damn you.
No, dang, my bad. But you finna have plenty of opportunity to go get it, because we finna get up out of here. But
Oh
please,
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
man, be generational, because it's always time to be, guys. Don't you settle for
Facts.
less.
Facts. Y'all know where to catch me, man. At fatboyslim_21 on Twitter. I'm always keeping up shit. Go to my shorts, man. I've been dropping debate shorts lately. Been getting
Mm,
good feedback on them, good views. So y'all please go check out those shorts, man. Tell me what y'all think, and I keep making more of them. A lot of people like to fight in them, but hey, I'm not for fighting. We just having debates. We just having fun. But because everybody entitled to their own opinion.
yeah, yeah.
But also, catch me on NFC South Roundtable. We'll be back in August, man, on Tuesdays, and preview the season and where we're going. And me and A1 and Birdo and all us. When camp battles come up, hey, we'll do camp battles for y'all to see who we like to win these positions on the field. And it's gonna be interesting because I have rookies that I think can come in and win the starting spot. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in for that. But again, man, it's been another great show. And
Wonderful.
me and A1 gonna catch y'all soon, man, because he got to go do what he do, and I got to go find some chicken wings and a Twix. But
No,
we go, hey, but
no.
we gonna holler at y'all soon.